What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. I am joined as always by my best man, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, how's it going?
I'm doing great, Connor. How are you doing? I never ask.
I'm fine, I suppose.
Good. That's good to hear, man. You gotta reach out to your boys, you know?
You're not sincere.
What do you mean I'm not sincere? That was genuine. I wanted to know.
Why didn't you ask me before we started recording then?
Because I don't get paid for that.
Because I have to keep up my idea that I'm the nice man.
Yeah, I need people to like me.
Yeah, when we jump on the call, you're just like, alright, fuckhead, let's go.
Yeah. It's like, but once we call action, you know, we completely change.
Yeah, Mr. Nicey Nice comes out. Shaun, I think you would be in a very good mood because this episode will drop around the same time as our Patreon episode dropped for this month, in which it's Shaun's birthday month. It was his birthday last Thursday, so he got to choose the movie that we review over on the Heroes for Hire Patreon for this month.
And I chose one that we both love and enjoy, folks.
I think I'm going to get some pushback on that review, by the way. I was thinking about it afterwards, and I was like, oh man, people are going to really insult me.
Listening back, the 5 minutes you did of being like, no, this is objectively good, is trounced by the other 55 minutes of you being like, I hate this movie.
Do you know what's so funny? I see that movie, I've been thinking about it, right? So when we did Pirates of the Caribbean 3, which is the worst one of the original trilogy, but the first one we did 2 years ago. Then Shaun did the second one last year, and now we have to do the third one. So I'm assuming next year is number 4. There's a common thread that's going through all of these.
It's going to be real steel again, I'm going to be honest, folks.
Okay, but we did the review, and I hadn't watched that in about 15, maybe 20 years. And having watched it, yes, it's 2007 actually, so like 18 years ago was when it came out.
Nearly 2 decades since you've seen that movie.
Crazy to think about. But when I watched it originally, I didn't like it. And then I went back and I really tried for my best pal Shaun, because it was his birthday month. And
thanks, bud.
I gave you that 5 minutes where I complimented all of the production.
I didn't even mention, I recently got a tattoo from that film specifically. It's on me.
Well, you should have asked me first.
Connor, what do you think I should put on my body?
I would have said, no, that's a mistake. Do number 1. You get a tattoo of the first one.
What's significant about the first one, you know?
I mean, it's the best movie by a mile in all the but I equate that movie to, you know, when there's a guy that all your friends are like, oh, he's a real cool guy, oh, I love him, oh, he's so nice, oh man, it's amazing, and then you meet him and you don't really like him, but you can't say it because everybody else likes him. You're trying to read the vibe.
Everyone else is on board, but you're like, I just don't click with this fella.
We don't vibe, and I just don't think I vibe with that movie.
Fair, and that's okay, and we can have different opinions, but it's my birthday month and I'm correct.
Yeah, so. I really probably should have just reined it back in because it was your birthday, to be fair.
It's true. I only said good things about The Fall Guy for your birthday last month.
That was good, though.
There's 2 good movies. What do you want from me?
So if you want to listen to that review, that will be over on our Patreon now. And as Shaun mentioned, we've got movies from last month. We reviewed The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling, but we have hundreds of other movie reviews over there. And
I will say critically as well, next month it goes back to The Hat. So it's probably going to be terrible movies that all of our
another Catwoman or Batman and Robin or
a Daredevil 2005 perhaps,
some sort of movie that the Patreons pick for us, normally superhero based and normally terrible, but I think we've covered all the bad ones, so I think they're running out, so the bullying will have to stop.
At a certain point we will have covered every terrible film.
Yes, we've also done Madam Web and Morbius, so what's left?
Craven is still on the cards, brother.
Oh fuck yeah, actually, when did you say that?
It's already in the hat, so there's no further damage I can do.
If you haven't given us 5 stars on Spotify, by the way, we'd really appreciate that. If it's your first episode, you don't have to do anything. If it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate the 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share, whatever way you can support the show, that would really help us out. We're going for 200 5-star reviews on Spotify before the winter solstice. That's what Shaun wants, so that's what we're going for.
And I won't accept a penny more or less. It has to be exactly 200.
201 and we quit the show.
Good show. We hang it all up, folks. What a lovely Christmas we'll have then, huh?
What day is it, boy? It's the day I fucking walked away.
It's the solstice. It's the shortest day of the year. Well, thank fuck, because I'm sick of it.
Thank fuck for that now. Right, so Shaun, we're going to get into some movie news because there's only really one place to start, and I get to blow my klaxon for this week of Shaun's Wrong Again, the old classic klaxon that we have here.
Oh, blow the dust off it, Conor. It hasn't been used in so long.
Because I've got James Bond news. Now,
you're also wrong on this, okay?
Go back and listen to the tape, Shaun. I think I very clearly said it's definitely Denis.
No! You said, I think, not a hope in hell is the exact words you used.
I can't quite remember that, and there's no audio platform that would be able to confirm that. I just refuse to listen back. No, Shaun, I think what you'll find is I was obviously very clear. I knew this. We had the inside scoops, and neither of us are looking silly from what we said last week, because I wouldn't normally start with James Bond news. Shaun normally doesn't really like James Bond.
I just don't care about it. You know?
Yeah, I'm probably very similar. But this week, for 1 week only, James Bond is leading the news because best director on the planet, Denis Villeneuve, is directing the next James Bond movie.
And I've never been more interested to see a James Bond movie, because we've said it before on the show, Denis Villeneuve as a director hasn't really missed in his career.
No, if he does something, it's normally like one of the best movies of the year. And when I say he's the best, obviously that is subjective. You might think he's absolutely shit, but just looking at his filmography, you're just like, oh, even on his days where he's not great, he's getting an 8 out of 10. Like it's normally fucking pretty good, even on his lower levels.
Like and like the upper tier is like sometimes there's an 11 in there in the case of Arrival.
They make new numbers.
But I'm interested to see what he does with like James Bond, but also just a spy movie in general. And then also I'm interested to see the Bond he works with. Like, yes. Who's going to be Seamus Bond in this one?
Who is going to be old Shamey Bond? Yeah, so, or James Bond.
James Bond.
James Bond. So obviously, if you don't know, Denis Villeneuve is currently directing all of the Dune movies as of right now. And
Madman.
So he's been... And he's not doing Batman.
No, he's a madman, sorry.
Oh, he's a madman.
No one's doing Batman, Conor.
I would take him if he wanted to. No, I wouldn't want to betray Matt.
I mean, Denis and Pattinson are about to work together on Dune.
Yes.
They could get a very good working relationship going and just make him James Bond as well.
I would still pick Matt over Denis to do the next Batman. If it came down to it.
That's fair. But if he can't do Batman if he's doing Bond.
No, I see. Shaun, I just ignore what you're saying right now, because obviously he's doing the Batman. Robert's busy, right? He's over.
Robbie? Did you call him Robbie?
Big Daddy Rob.
Call him Big Robbie Pattinson, you know?
Big Rob.
Robbie Pattinson is a darts superstar.
He loves 3 pints in the pub, and I'll tell you something, he's getting that triple 20 whether you like it or not. He's a fucking maniac on boards.
He wears the glove and everything.
For no reason. So Denis is coming to direct the next James Bond movie. Now, James Bond as a franchise has, obviously Daniel Craig's been there for the last few years. They got him back for the last one by giving him $250. So that was pretty good.
I think the last 3 Bond movies that he was in was like, oh, it's his last time as Bond.
No, I think he kept trying to leave, and then they kept being like, well, what if we gave you $8 quadrillion?
And the insult of Skyfall being like, everyone else is a clean slate, but you have to stay.
You have to stay and do these forever. So he did 25. And then it was kind of a situation where me and you were like, oh, well, then just leave it for a while. Like, James Bond as a name, it's a franchise that's big, and studios love fucking franchises. They're always going to go back to it. But then it got sold. The rights got sold from the Broccoli family, who were running all of the previous movies. And the minute they got sold, then they're like, right, now green light is on. Let's start sprinting towards the next movie.
Yeah, and sold to Amazon specifically are the ones that bought.
Yeah, well, they don't have that much money, so they were fine.
Little indie studio Amazon.
So they are after getting Denis because he's come out several times and he's like, oh, some of my earliest movie-going memories are connected to James Bond. It's like a nostalgia thing. He's emotionally connected to it. Christopher Nolan had like a similar thing going on with him. So they actually kind of had it in. Because James Bond has that nostalgia for all of these directors.
This is the thing. I'm not a world-famous director, but... I have memories of what I've seen most James Bond movies, because they're on at Christmas, and I watch them with family, and it's a movie that everyone can just watch, and it's great.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that Denis wanted to do it immediately was like, last week we had a bit of fun because they were like, oh, we're looking for all of these massive directors to do the movie, and then it was funny because it's like, well, obviously you would ask
just pick
Denis
the best
Villeneuve.
directors.
Just be like, oh, are you available? So they must have had the best day ever when they sent him the email to be like, do you think you might be... Yeah. Will we send Denis an email, will we? And we will for the laugh.
Have you ever seen the thing, and it's like, if you have extra wedding invites, you send them to like CEOs and billionaires, just in case they send a gift back in response.
Yeah. So
they did that, but with James Bond directors.
And Denis Villeneuve was on the set of Dune Messiah. He was just like, I'll do James Bond, I suppose.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I imagine he stopped to take the call.
And when it gets back to them, and they're just sitting there going, lads, he said yes.
Oh, fuck.
Did he just say yes?
Someone get Bridesmaids director Paul Feig on the phone. We need to.
Oh God. We need to take. Mean to Paul Feig.
What's your deal? Why do you
get Roland Emmerich on the phone? We have to tell him we don't need him anymore. So my question now, Shaun, is James Bond. He did Blade Runner 2049. He's done Dune. He's done Sicario. I mean, pretty big hitters. Shaun, will you, be interested in the next James Bond movie?
Yes. It's the most interested I've ever been in a James Bond movie.
And will it be good?
I see. What if he... Because if we're charting it, right, the Bond movies he grew up with are the sillier ones.
They're the ridiculous ones. Yeah. Well, I think Bond always has an air of ridiculousness to him. Well, Daniel Craig's punching people through sinks. But, one of our own, Pierce Brosnan, they are ridiculous.
GoldenEye, one of the silliest films to ever exist. Moonraker. What are we doing?
One of the best video games, one of the silliest movies.
It's true. It was very 007 Nightfire, absolutely fantastic PS2.
A great game. Yeah, of course. But I think he might. Yeah, you can't really go Sicario.
No. I want silly Denis, I want a queue with I want the exploding pens. Bring me back to that.
Silly Denis. It's the silly Denis exists.
I think silly Denis has to exist.
I think Denis only goes at a 10. There's no silly.
I believe there is, purely from Dune Part 2, where there's that one cut, and it's like, no, of course, I'm not Muad'Dib. And then it hard cuts to Silcar being like, of course he would say he's not Muad'Dib.
Right, okay, so...
That level of comedy, I think, we're getting in Bond, and he's done a weird world in Dune, and he's doing it pretty well. So a weird little spy gadget factory warehouse place is not that far out of the realm of possibility. I mean,
I'm super interested. It was one of the only picks that would be like, I was like, hang on, what's going on here?
Let him cook.
I want to see what the trailer looks like.
Yeah. I want this movie, I want a big laser pointed at the moon kind of shit. I want it to be dumb as fuck, but really good.
What if we double up? Shaun, and hear me out. One of our favourite movies here on the show, Moonfall. Right?
Moonfall, of course.
What if instead the laser doesn't point at the moon? The moon's coming at us.
Oh.
And we need old James Bond, old James Bond himself, to somehow stop it.
I think that could work, honestly. Can we cast Patrick Wilson in some role? Perhaps as Bond.
And, I mean, to be fair, very James Bond to land that spaceship with no electricity from space.
Oh, yeah, I imagine he's smoking the whole time while he does it.
Of course he is. He's talking to some woman on the phone.
Some woman, Connor? What do you mean?
Just his latest conquest of whoever it is.
Yeah, I don't know if you can go back to that kind of James Bond anymore.
Because that's the James Bond you're talking about.
Yeah, the
Like he's smoking a
womanising hard
cigarette and he's like, I'll call you tomorrow, dollface. Okay.
You ever seen some of the fight scenes and fight choreography in those early Bonds?
No, actually, you're going to be mean, but Shaun, I would say I want whoever James Bond is to do a kung fu arm right to somebody's neck and kill them.
Because we're so used to the Daniel Craig.
Yeah, Daniel Craig, right? He went way too far. He's having to punch people through sinks to kill them. Yeah. I want karate chop right into some sort of nerve in your neck, and you're dead.
Which is just, it's the most bullshit. Nerve clusters, you know? It just shuts you down.
The old nerve clusters. For years watching it after, I was like, I could die at any time.
Yeah. The amount of times me and my brother tried to nerve cluster each other is frankly unholy.
You used to have 7 brothers.
Yeah. They kept getting chopped.
We got it right 4 times.
It's like, look, I would like a sillier Bond. I think Bond should be a little bit fantastical and not, hey, the internet's the bad guy in this one. You know?
And yeah, okay. I am very interested to see where this goes. I even more amazed if he does like a Blade Runner 2049 style, where it's like always raining, like a dark city.
Oh my god! Imagine a Bond movie that looks good. That's going to be insane.
Yeah, the one thing you can say I think you want about his movies, but they always look good. They're always pretty. So
is it Greg Fraser? Is that the
Greg Fraser? Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly not working on the Batman 2.
No, Shaun, he never is confirmed for James Bond, is what you're telling me. So,
but he works with Denis pretty much exclusively.
I'm pretty positive he's going to be working on Dune Messiah, and then once he finishes there, he's working on the Batman 2.
Oh, okay. And so they're going to leave Bond until 2033, are they?
Yes.
Amazon will love that, believe me.
So Shaun, I just wanted to start off with that, but it's time to move on to our next piece of news. And you love Pixar. You've said to me so many times you love Pixar. You've seen The Lion King so many times. Anyone who hasn't listened for a long time, maybe a newer listener, Shaun, what are your thoughts on the original Lion King movie?
On the original Lion King movie?
Not number 2.
Not number 2. The original Lion King movie, one of the most important animated films ever made, I think. Yeah. Anyone would say that.
I wasn't looking for anyone's opinion. I would have been looking for yours, really, specifically.
The cast that I'm aware is in the movie.
These are very broad ideas.
Fantastic work. And the soundtrack as well by Elton John.
What's your third favourite scene?
Long Live the King. Because that was in Kingdom Hearts, I'll have you know.
I think Shaun knows about Lion King is true Kingdom Hearts. That's
pretty much.
And Shaun is one of the only people who has seen Lion King 2. Back in the Habit, but he has not seen number 1. And I find that fascinating, but I just bring that up anytime we bring up any animated movie. But Shaun, have you seen Ratatouille?
I have seen Ratatouille. I really enjoyed Ratatouille.
What would you think about a Ratatouille 2? A Ratatouille, if you will.
I mean, that was definitely the entire basis for making the film. I don't know if it needs more. Ratatouille is also in Kingdom Hearts, by the way. You help out in the kitchen. It's pretty
Pixar
good.
Is developing a sequel to Ratatouille. I'm ignoring your Kingdom Hearts plot.
Because there's this hub world called Traverse Town.
This is not a Kingdom Hearts show.
Not yet, baby.
It's just going to turn into Warhammer and Kingdom Hearts lore back to back.
Connor, then you can stop scripting the shows, you know, then I can take over.
Just a trail of consciousness. Everything.
It's awful to listen to.
So, I mean, Shaun, what do we think about Ratatouille 2? It's tough to say. I mean, they're doing Toy Story 5, Incredibles 3, Coco 2, sequels all over the place. What are our thoughts on Ratatouille 2?
They're going to be competing with Uber Eats, aren't they?
I mean, it's one of those where we do this all the time, where they're running out of movies.
Yeah, but like Ratatouille, the original one, a novel concept at the time it came out.
What year is that? 07? Maybe 07.
I think it was 07. Same as At World's End, was it?
That's what you base all movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
When was it before World's End? BWE or AWE?
I have this thing where I love Googling things, but Google obviously doesn't know the context. So I just Googled Ratatouille and it gave me a load of recipes for Ratatouille.
Perfect.
Ratatouille film came out in 2007.
Thank you very much. Done by Brad Bird, if you will.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he had recently done Incredibles, one of the best movies of all time, if you ask me. So, Shaun, I don't know. I find this fascinating, firstly, due to the fact that, I mean, it's fine. We're getting a Ratatouille 2. It'll be grand.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
I put this in the same context as a Toy Story 5 or 4. That's like, well, that's happened. Okay, great.
Watch it if you want, but like...
Yeah, like, Toy Story 1 to 3 is perfect. So if they're adding a 4, then anything can get a sequel. Like, if you're doing Toy Story 1 to 3, and you ended on 3, and then you're like, somehow 10 years later, someone in the room still goes, we could get away with a 4th and a 5th.
We are getting a live-action Lilo and Stitch 2.
That is coming out. That was actually in amongst my news that I was going to give you my Disney double bill, Shaun.
Of course, well, I'm sorry to spoil it.
Lilo and Stitch 2, I should say, live action movie is in the works after Lilo and Stitch live action 1 has done so well.
I mean, a lot of people saw it for sure, but like, who cares? What's this for? Conor, I'm about to start hating movies again.
You're going to start hating movies, but then again, Shaun, I would then, if I'm playing devil's advocate, say this is not for us. So
it's true.
The fact that we're not that excited doesn't really matter, because if you have, I don't know, maybe a 4-year-old and you're like, hey, there's a Lilo and Stitch 2, and they probably watched number 1 and loved it. So,
but it's just
cool.
slop. It's just slop. And Nanny gives Lilo up to the state at the end. Spoilers. It's not about Ohana at all.
This is the opposite of Ohana.
This is no Ohana.
No Ohana. The word slop gets thrown around. But yes, that's exactly what this is.
I think the children deserve better, personally.
You know what? That's so... Because a lot of people can come at this of like, oh, they're ruining the classics, right? I'm like, yeah, but that's fine, right? It's an inbuilt name value. They're always going to do that over and over again, especially now because they're just terrified of doing anything new. And I think they do something new, that everyone's just like, you're fucking bringing minorities in, you bastards.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate for no reason, but Sinners was real good, guys. Go watch Sinners.
So they just get all of that pushback, and then they shit themselves, and they're like, Toy Story 5 can't go wrong, and then one of the toys is Browne, and everyone's like, fucking get this toy out of here. fucking ridiculous.
Woke, gone mad, etc, etc. Grow the fuck up and touch grass.
Or perhaps maybe as a child you were just not aware of any of that stuff, and now your brain has been boiled by things in the meantime.
Yeah, now there is a...
conceited effort to make you think of like that.
Yes, there's a conceited effort because it is valuable to companies for you to spend more time angry about things and engaging with things than it is to be fine with stuff. Yeah.
And the problem with this podcast is, this is why we'll never get big, Shaun, is because Irish people, our natural state is, that's grand.
Yeah. And also, Irish people have an inbuilt sense of, fucking cop on, will you? Cop on just means wise up.
Because
come back to earth.
Me and Shaun have a thing where we have a reward at the end of the year called the most grand movie of the year.
The most grand movie.
And what that means is, it doesn't mean big. It doesn't mean extravagant. All it means is, if something's grand, didn't hurt you, but your life isn't changed. Haven't seen it.
Which, also, just on the end of year awards, I know this is early, be prepared for 28 years later to sweep all of mine.
What are you talking about? Sinners came out this year, man.
Oh, man, it's a tough year. It's a tough year.
It's a tough year. That is.
See, 28 years, man, it's the best.
I've seen both, and what I would say is, Sinners, I think, just pips it, but you have the nostalgia of 28 Days later, so that probably pushes it ahead for you.
28 Days is actually genuinely my favourite film ever made.
I respect that. That's no problem. I mean, they're both. If you're both just like big stakes, so like, which one do you want?
It's true, and also good year for horror. You know,
real good year for horror. I mean, it's so good. It just turns out we just do a good original idea, but actually, 28 years later isn't original.
Look, all of my posturing about legacy sequels, etc., goes out the window for the 28 Days franchise.
10 minutes being like, this is slop. This is ridiculous slop. We deserve better. And then you're like, 28 years later, 25 years after the first one, I think this is great.
But it is great, though. It's real good.
Yeah.
You think it's grand.
No, I said it was grand. I said it was really good.
Oh, good. Good. Well, in 27 weeks, we have another one coming out, so get ready.
This is one of those where you're really protective over the movie, and if I say even one minuscule thing that I have, you're going to get really attacky. Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
Without spoiling it, I just need to say this to you. I had to explain the ending to someone who... And the amount of shit I had to go into for the ending
does not translate internationally, is what I would say. No,
it didn't make it across to that country.
Even to us, I was like, that is a direction.
Yeah, wild. Where's it going to pick up? You know, folks, we could talk about 28 years later all day, but all I know is Lilo and Stitch 2 kill it with hammers.
Me and my friends would kill it with hammers, I tell you that much. And Ratatouille 2, fine, it'll come out in Disney Plus. Very few people will see it, but kids might like it, so that's good.
It has the bang of that Moana sequel, where it was like a TV show stitched together into a film.
Yeah, just like the first movie's real good. Just leave it, it's fine.
Yeah. I feel like The Bear got popular and they were like, what can we do with cooking?
Do we have anything involving chefs? Okay, we're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun, and I have Star Wars news that I think you're gonna like. Because claim. Star Wars reportedly is planning a new movie trilogy focused on the Mandalorian rumour.
That got worse the further and further you got into that sentence.
You see, the thing with Star Wars these days, right, is that it's a give and take relationship. So last week we talked about the fact that the Rey movie has been put on hold. That trilogy that they were going to do is put on hold. But to fill that gap, you would say just leave it. But Star Wars always has to have at least 7 trilogies planned and in the works simultaneously.
It's wild that, like, just because, like, in the 70s, 80s, George Lucas made 3 movies called in the Star Wars saga. Now there always has to be a trilogy just fucking in the air somewhere.
And to be honest with you, I'd say George's idea, and look, I don't want to speak for the man, was just first one good guys win, second one bad guys win, third one good guys win.
Yeah. It's just a story arc.
It's a story arc, yeah. The second act is, oh no, we're in the doldrums here, we're never getting out.
But here's the thing, is that you can do a story arc in one film as well. That's all right to do.
You should probably have a story arc in your film, is what I would say.
Yeah. Just so, literally, just make a movie. Make a movie about the origins of the Sith, and that's all. Yeah. Print money. You'll be fine.
Well, no, Mandalorian, Shaun. Mandalorian. Grogu and Mandalorian, that's big, right? 2018, that's sweeping the internet.
Is Mandalorian and Grogu, like, not the movie, but the characters, is that pre-COVID?
Oh, that's a very... I think it might be 19. I think it might be 19. It might not be. Star Wars is not my area of expertise.
That's fair, and that's your one failing as a human.
One of many.
Because I know WandaVision came out during COVID, for sure.
Yeah, WandaVision was 20. Yeah.
The Mandalorian Season 1
was...
November to December 2019. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was pre.
Wow.
That's the reason it happened. Mandalorian.
That's insane. And the first season's pretty good, and then they milked it. Like, they milk everything.
Because Andor's the only thing that's sacred that we've got.
And Andor's finished now as well. Andor's like,
Shaun,
there's no
it's not
season
finished.
3.
It's
no,
never
Conor,
finished.
We're never going to see him again. What
are
I
you
say?
talking about, right? They have tried so hard to make things good, and they've got one thing that is universally said, this is good. What if you are them and you have seen any of their previous actions over the last, 15 years? What is their next step?
Mandalorian and Grogu, more of those, I would say.
Trilogy movie, Andor.
Trilogy, yeah. What do you do? Like a trilogy of The Mandalorian?
They're doing it. Well, look, it's rumoured that they're looking for, and it's reportedly said that they're looking forward to, a trilogy of Mandalorian films.
But do we not already have 3 seasons of The Mandalorian?
Yeah. Now, it is said that it depends on how well the first film does, whether they'll do the trilogy.
Do you
Which
think
is
that movie's
funnier
gonna do
because
well?
that means that they're not planning one.
No, but they might just shoehorn 2 more in.
Yeah. I would rather one or the other. Either you're like, it's one, we're doing one movie, or we've got all 3 planned. We've got an arc over the 3.
I'm just picturing like J.J. Abrams, like when Oppenheimer is talking to Einstein. Just like not planning out a trilogy at the start.
Just make it up. It doesn't matter. Just do stuff in the first one. Never pay it off. It's fine.
Wing it on the day. Fuck it up in the middle. Not even fuck it up. Make choices in the middle. And then roll that back because you're cowards.
I am interested to see how they do this. I'm also very interested to know how well received the first movie is going to be. Because Mandalorian and Grogu is very, I think you're right. I think of The Mandalorian and I think of WandaVision. I think of a certain time in our lives.
Yes.
That all of that stuff was happening.
And I think Mandalorian has become kind of this, not poster child, but it's an example of how they'll just laser in on one thing. And just do everything surrounding that character for so long until you're just kind of sick of it.
It's The Mandalorian, and the movie's literally called The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, because they want the to sell merch. They want the fucking Mandalorian popcorn bucket helmet, which that's my least favourite thing that fucking happens.
Do you know what? I thought I was just no crack. I thought it was no fun.
I hate it so much. The fucking popcorn bucket trend is the worst. Let's just make landfill. Why don't we?
Sometimes I'm afraid to say something like that, Shaun, because I'm like, maybe Shaun loves them. Maybe he's into them. But there's a part of my brain that's like, you want me to pay €20 for a different bucket for you to put my popcorn into?
For some blow-moulded plastic that I can fucking put already expensive popcorn into and then have to find a place for in my house?
When I take that home, there's no room in the cupboards for that. I can't find any room.
And it's just... the fact, if they're making this fucking many of them, the design and tooling cost alone means that it's such a markup that you're paying for these.
There has to be a massive fan base, though. There has to be.
But it's constructed, it's created. Because there's people who just collect popcorn buckets and that's their thing. And
there's also people that turn up to the cinema and they're like, hey, do you want it in the special bucket? It's $10 more. And you're like, yeah, okay, fair enough.
True, but you're being exploited. It's the most late stage capitalism thing of, do you want to pay more to hold the food you're paying for?
This is the best version we've had in a while.
Oh, I hate. It's been a while since I got riled up on movie Mondays.
You've been really calm over the last few weeks. We've got him just off work.
It's true. I literally came in from work and started recording today, so maybe that's it.
I completely agree with you, but I always think it's really funny to just disagree, just to set you off again. But Shaun, what if I want to put my popcorn in a bucket that looks like my favourite character?
You can do that if you want, man. But if you're paying 20 quid for
the tickets
that
are
level
already
of design,
extortionate.
Yeah.
It is.
We have a friend of the show, Connor Martin, went to the cinema not too long ago, and it came out to 50 or 60 quid just for tickets and a bit of popcorn.
Yeah.
So I think it's the most unnecessary shit that they're charging extra for, because they know people will fucking buy it. And if they can make them in that quantities at that short a notice and only sell them for 2 or 3 weeks, someone along the line is getting fucked hard.
Vote for this man. I don't know what kind of election he's going to run in, but just
in my world, you will turn up to the cinema, put out your hands, and we will deposit popcorn straight into
on
them.
the way, you're going to give that speech at the lectern, but on the way to the podium, you walk past several homeless people. You just kick them. Just get away. Get a job, you lazy bastard.
I hit him so hard my Rolex falls off.
I'm here to talk about important things.
Yeah, don't fix any systemic issues. The popcorn thing, though.
I'm raising taxes for the popcorn buckets. Okay.
And none of them are good, and they're all just memes about which one is the most fuckable since June came out.
Yeah. Which one is the most fuckable? No, I'm not gonna say that.
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's the Gladiator 2 Coliseum.
I have a back tattoo that solves this problem. Shaun, we're going to move on to another thing that you might not like and you might not like. I don't know. The Social Network Part 2 is in the works, and Sony, Aaron Sorkin, is set to write and direct it.
I'm not as interested as the first one. However, there is more story to tell. It's a bit dystopian now, I think.
Yeah. It's full on horror, I assume.
Because the first one isn't really about Facebook. It's about Mark Zuckerberg alienating everyone that he loves and cares about.
Yeah.
Wild that he would let them do another one.
We have a weird situation here where David Fincher, who directed the first one, is doing the Quentin Tarantino movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel.
Yes.
And then we've got Aaron Sorkin is doing the sequel to David Fincher's The Social Network Part 2.
It is a weird mix.
What is the deal with they're just moving around? Does that mean Tarantino has to do Sorkin's next thing?
I think so. Tarantino has to do a Star Wars trilogy, I think.
He's locked in for the Mandalorian and Grogu.
What if the Mandalorian didn't wear shoes anymore? Would that be alright?
Spilled tequila down his leg in the Grogu's mouth.
The Mandalorian is played by Selma Hayek in this universe.
Obviously.
Yes.
I'm not an idiot, lads.
It's weird because Social Network it's just a very good, well-made film. It is.
I mean, The Social Network is one of those movies that you're like, you should just watch it if you're interested in film, because the way it's made and the writing and the performances that are in it are just outstanding. It's just an excellent movie, top to bottom.
Yes. Very naturalistic dialogue as well, which we're both big fans of. The thing about it as well is that at the time it came out, Facebook was big and popular, but I don't think a lot of people knew everything that had gone on to make Facebook. Whereas everything about Facebook is very public nowadays.
Yeah. The Wall Street Journal, I think, did a full-on Facebook files, in-depth thing in a few years ago. And
so it's also, it's changed so much now from where it left off in Social Network.
Yeah, Social Network, by the way, it was the fun social media thing that you did Farmville on.
That's literally why I joined Facebook, was to play Farmville.
I think so did I. But you basically jumped on to look after your weird farm and then talk to your friends in very terrible language, that you can't really spell most words.
It is going back and reading hieroglyphs now.
Yeah, but
also you'd have full conversations just in public, just on people's profiles and stuff.
And that was when the algorithm worked, so everybody seen it.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Whereas now it's all AI slop and fucking...
So you can just have multiple... Actually, right now, it's much safer to have the conversations with your friends.
You'll never see it. You'll never see anything you want to see.
Never show up on anyone else's timeline. Probably not even theirs. 2010 and 2025, there's such different vibes in social media that I'm very intrigued as to how they tackle it, because it's all fun and games then. And Zuckerberg's a genius. He's like, oh man, he's come up with the coolest thing of all time. He might be socially awkward. He might be a dickhead. But he's come up with the coolest thing of all time.
And now it's sinister. And now it isn't good that one person has this much control over so many people's data.
So I'm very intrigued of how, obviously, I'm assuming Jesse Eisenberg is coming back to play him.
Yes. Maybe.
But maybe, I'm not quite sure. But you would have to just go pure horror in terms of like, or thriller of just like, this man's a psychopath.
Yeah. Like, it has to be seen as, this is bad that this has happened.
I think the first one does that, but you have to like multiply it by 10 because now everybody's aware of it.
Yeah. And you need to... I don't know the research process that would go into this, but there'd have to be some level of harrowing story that the public hasn't already heard of about Facebook or Mark Zuckerberg or whomever.
Yeah, I think I mean we've just been inundated.
Yeah. And I'm sick of... And like, does Facebook promote this? Is that what happens? Like,
I don't think so, surely not. I mean, they promoted the first one because it was good for them.
Yeah. It was a very good movie.
It was bad because obviously it showed Zuckerberg in a non-favourable light, but good because you had this Oscar-winning movie based on your take.
Yeah. But now, I don't know how that happens now. And I can't picture it, but I am not a multi-award winning director and writer Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah, Sorkin normally will write some fucking great stuff.
Yeah, so I'd say I'm interested in an outsider's look, like a non-Facebook approved Facebook movie. I think is always an interesting idea. But calling it The Social Network 2 feels like a studio was just looking through the titles of films they own.
Yeah. I mean, do you go into like how they just stole everybody's data or the avatars or like
or like all I use
the multiple Congress visits if you want.
Who? There's like 2 or 3 group chats I'm in on Facebook, and then you send me the Google link meet, and that's all I use Facebook for.
And that's literally it. And I could send it on something else, but we just always used it.
It's just habit. If you scroll through, it's just meet.google.com the whole way back.
I'm interested to know what this even looks like, because I'm not sure how deep it goes. If they chicken out and just like... No, I don't think they can. I don't think you can do the part 2 without going in depth. Like, it can't be a fluff piece. It makes no sense.
If you're calling yourself The Social Network Part 2, it has to be like faithful to the original in like it's not necessarily an objective view, but it's a realistic view of Facebook.
Yeah, because I mean we all kind of get it now, like, or actually even just like in terms of the world, like the social media, the way social media is viewed back then and the way it's viewed now is a completely different planet of... And not in a good way, in a way of like, now we're like, oh, this is the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
like,
I actively see it as my enemy at the minute.
But like, we use it every day while simultaneously knowing it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, this is the thing. And look, also, that's capitalism, people, for what it's worth. Just because, like, we were born into this system, you don't get to pick it. You have to do the best you can with it, you know?
And the popcorn buckets.
Left and right, these are both capitalist ideals, okay? Even a left-wing political party is still a capitalist political party.
We need to do a poster of you looking into the distance holding a popcorn, just a normal, regular popcorn bucket.
Make popcorn regular again.
I just interested to see how this works. Aaron Sorkin obviously super talented, so like
Yeah, that's not in question here, I don't think. So
yeah, we don't have any issue with that. It's just interesting to know how they even do it. But Shaun, I wanted to finish off movie news this week with some pretty big news. There was a little trailer that I actually forgot to ask you to watch, but I'm now assuming you did.
let's hope I watched it. What is it?
Is it Fantastic Four?
Hell yeah, I watched this one. Because I thought Connor's going to make me watch this.
We don't have to say anything now, I know, right? So the Fantastic Four First Steps final trailer has come out. We've got our first look. I mean, it's a full, I don't know, like 2.5 minute trailer. And it's pretty in-depth. It's all the things it shows. Shaun, I'm going to be very, very simple. We're going to start our very first question. Nice and easy for you. What did you think?
I could have done without seeing it, to be honest.
Oh, right.
I don't think it's a bad trailer by any means.
I'll be honest with you, I think it's a fucking excellent trailer. But then
really good
I
trailer.
also had the same thought of like, this is too good. Stop showing me all these things.
Like, in terms of like scale and stakes, this trailer fucking nails it. It also like it makes me question the like timeline of this movie.
Why?
Because we know Sue tells people she's pregnant. We also see Franklin in this trailer.
Yes.
And also, and I feel this is what most of the internet is talking about, Ben Grimm, the Thing, has a beard in this.
I mean,
which does happen in comics, but it takes like 1,000 to 2,000 years.
I mean, where are we as a society if that's what we take from this?
Look. It's a shit-looking popcorn bucket too.
You see 7 shit popcorn buckets and suddenly the thing with a beard looks like a great idea.
I think there could be... I think... Crackpot theory, he could get trapped in a time alternate dimension for a while.
Yeah,
and he grows a
I'm
beard.
all for... This movie has been driving us to many different theories. I've got a theory for you, Shaun.
Go ahead.
So originally we were all just like, oh, they're going to get off the planet. Galactus eats the planet. They leave the planet because we know they're in all the other movies, the Avengers Doomsdays and all that stuff coming up.
Yes.
What if instead of sending them, they just send Franklin and then they die?
Like a Superman Moses style.
As if like getting him off kryptonite kind of style.
I mean, it's...
And then he rewrites the new planet to include them.
But what about Doom, Connor? Doom is a stowaway.
Yeah, Doom is just... He's like Supergirl and Super Horse and all the super animals.
If you were going to send anyone, just send Franklin. That is the move. But I think we see the ship. The same ship.
I mean,
that's Thunderbolts. It doesn't say who's on it. Away, that's true.
So perspective, it could be really small.
It's true. Could just be a model ship, a child-sized ship,
a baby-sized ship.
Maybe again with Fantastic Four, they can kind of do anything because this is also another universe. Fantastic Four.
So this is a 60s futuristic universe.
Yeah.
So I also did have another theory for you, Shaun. I love a wild conspiracy theory with this movie.
Please.
Because, firstly, by the way, this trailer, real good. But if you're interested in the movie, I actually wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't recommend watching it. I'd leave it.
No. I would go in... nothing in this trailer is going to convince you to see the movie if you don't like it already.
Yeah. But what I would say is that Galactus, is he giant robot boy?
What do you mean? I don't...
for some reason, he looks like a big giant robot.
That's all the cables and wires and stuff. But he's...
I'm just saying, wouldn't be mad if he was a big robot boy.
Would be mad if he was a big robot boy. But I think he's a real
60s
dude.
Futuristic world shot, I think it happened.
It's true, it could be a construction made by Doom in order to take over the
made by
world.
Doom, who sends it there to destroy the world. For some reason, this is a safe space, Shaun. It's conspiracy theories we're allowed throwing out there.
Of course,
ultimately could just be Galactus.
could just be regular Galactus. I think it's probably regular Galactus, but it could be Doom trying to destroy the world to stop incursions, which he has been known to do in the Secret Wars.
Sending a big monster to destroy all the worlds.
You know, it happens. I mean, this is different, but how do you feel about the catchphrase being a cartoon catchphrase and he doesn't like saying it in real life?
I think it's the best way to do it.
You think so?
I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of...
What was the phrase his older brother used before he would beat the shit out of him? I
do understand that concept. I think that's much better. That's, like, I'm a Fan Forstick kind of guy.
You're a Stan Forstick.
I'm a Stan Forstick. You know that about me. I love that movie. I think it's the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
I think it's fantastic.
I say that again. But I think that any movie that moves further away from what they did in that movie is a good Fantastic Four movie. So I like the idea that they already exist in certain forms. I love that kind of idea in Logan, where they were like the X-Men were comic book heroes and they were kind of like heroes that were like legends. Nice, I like that idea that like they exist and people know of them, so they're famous. And you also skip a load of dead area before that. That like we don't have to go through we have to hide our secret identities. Who are we? Oh my god, we have our powers.
I think a lot of that is going to be done with the whatever talk show they're on. I think that's going to be like maybe the intro, and it's like 4 astronauts were sent up and hit by a cosmic ray, and it's that kind of just exposition dump, but it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I think it worked really well in that kind of area. We don't need to see it again. You can just show it to us, especially because the planet that they're talking on. I mean, it's not going to be around for too much longer, so it's...
No.
It's fine.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, guys. Don't worry about it.
And they are going to have to reintroduce themselves when they get to, like, the main planet anyway, so we can just do it there.
I don't know. This trailer and the movie in general, it hasn't come out yet, but it feels like it gives momentum. It's like stuff is going to happen in this movie that's going to matter, and that's quite nice for a universe that has built itself around... ongoing large-scale stories.
I feel like I'm more interested in this movie because it's not linked to anything at the minute. In a weird way.
I get you, though. Yeah. It's
like people are always like, what does this mean 3 movies from now? I'm like, this could be just a fun romp of the Fantastic Four in the 60s, and the end of it is them just either on the ship, like getting off it, or maybe they don't and everyone just dies, I'm not sure, but like them getting out of there. And then obviously they have to brought them into the main universe, but that's fine. But I think I like a vibe like, say, a Thunderbolts, where it's just like, these are a load of weirdos. Just like, this is just a fun movie. Let's just do a fun movie.
Yeah. Well, this is what we've always said, is just do a fun movie and then build in the connections afterwards.
Yeah, like there's absolutely not one connection in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 to any of the other Marvel stuff.
No.
It's just a good movie.
It stands on its own. The Infinity Stones, kind of.
But there's the stuff about the Infinity Stones, but simultaneously, if no other Marvel movie existed, and that was the introduction to the Infinity Stones, it would make perfect sense.
It stands on its own. Yeah.
Yeah, because they have like the whole exposition in that movie as well, of like, these are the crazy stones, there's this thing, he's got the power, blah, blah, blah. So
don't worry about it.
You don't need to worry about it. Let's not introduce anybody else. So I want kind of that same vibe here of like, just have a whole movie. I think they all look fantastic in their roles, or great. Yeah. I'm not going to use fantastic. Great in their roles.
The thing design in motion looks really, really good as well.
What do you think of the stretchy animations?
I think it's hard to do that because your body's trained to know that looks weird. But I think it looks as good as it can.
I think Silver Surfer looks excellent.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Looks so fucking good.
So good.
And like the Johnny Storm fire effects look very good.
Yeah.
But like,
to be fair, the Johnny Storm fire effects in 2005 were also quite good. So
they were also quite good, so you can't go backwards.
It's weird that like they just got that right, but everything else looked not good. Well, other than Chickless, obviously.
Other than Chickless. Chickless in that big fucking rubber suit, man.
A big, beautiful man himself. I think that the tone of these trailers has changed dramatically. I think the first one was like, hey, it's so fun. Oh, wow. This is like a real feature thing and it's super cool. It's like the Jetsons. We're like, anything can happen. And then as the trailers have gone on, I've enjoyed the fact that now it's like the most grim universe of all time. Like, oh yeah, we're dead.
Something really terrible has happened or is happening. and Reed Richards isn't sure that he can save anybody.
Yeah, the apocalypse is about to happen and the smartest person on the planet doesn't know how to stop it.
I love that line in the press conference before they get on the ship.
Excellent.
And he's like, are you going to save us? I don't know.
No, I thought that was when they land. I think that's when they come back down.
Oh.
Maybe. I think it's like after the scene in the space when they just land, they're kind of running through. And all the press conference is like, what? He explains what it is.
Get on the ship. Yeah.
He explains what it is.
Interesting. Maybe they've sent Franklin off in the ship.
Franklin solved this fucking problem, lad.
Franklin fixed this. Ben's with him. That's why Ben ages so much, because it takes ages to fix everything.
Because Ben has to go with him and teach him everything, because they're like, well, who's the best man we could send with the child? It's not fucking Reed. Reed's a dickhead.
Well, Ben's got unbreakable skin, you know. He'll probably be fine in the vacuum of space.
Exactly. So what are you thinking about that?
I think you're entirely right, Conor, and I'd like to bet you won £1,000.
I was right about James Bond. I'll be right about this.
Wait, you weren't right about
Shut up.
It's not worth it.
The clubber in time thing, I think that's the best way to go about it, because it's like pointing it out, but also it makes it fun that when he does say it, it's then just like an inside joke. Johnny always constantly being like, what time is it? What time is it? And that should be their relationship between Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm.
Yeah, they have like the brotherly thing going in these trailers, which I really
love when they're like, other than when it says like La Familia, because like with the thing that'll keep us together as family, then it cuts to the car. I was like, it's La Familia. But no, the bit that like it has just a very small clips of them all like high-fiving or like looking at each other or hanging out, but like in all the different duos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really like that.
There's that bit of Reed and Ben just looking out of the window and just like hanging out with each other.
I think this movie, any Fantastic Four movie, is built or falls on the relationship between the four of them. Because when it does the thing at the end of being like, one of us can't stop them, but all of us together can stop them, it means so much more if we actually believe that they fucking like each other and they hang out.
You're talking about Fan Four Stick again, right?
I am indeed. But when they're like, throughout the whole movie have no chemistry, and then they're like, we've got to work together like a family. I'm like, well,
yeah, you're like you're co-workers at the minute, like
your acquaintances at most. Like, I really enjoy that they should have all of those moments separately. And like, I love when Johnny Storm and Sue Storm are brother and sister, but like good friends. In a weird way, like they have like the most connection.
Like they're close enough in age that they probably fought growing up, but now they're hanging out and stuff. It's nice. Yeah,
I think this is going to be quite good, Shaun. I'm going to go out on a limb.
Well, we'll have to find out in late July, Conor.
Late July, yes, indeed. I think that brings an end to this week's movie news.
What a week! Would you like me to take us out?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We will be back. We're back right now with Weird News over on Heroes for Hire Presents Weird News, and we will be back on Friday with an episode of Hero or Zero. Big thank you to everyone over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. The link to that is in the description. And shout outs go to Róisín and Baby Ben Palmer, Ryan Komatsu, Dozer Enthusiast Evanson, Owen Wilson, the Real Owen Wilson, Let Me Date Your Mum, David Clarke, Dominic, Anna Sharkfoot Hjelmroos, Daniel McLaughlin, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Frost, Ed Ball, Conor and Lorraine were right about the Eurovision. Hey Shaun, are you partying anytime this week? Is Friday's episode definitely happening then, Parfitt? Roasted. Deserved.
Yes.
I will not be partying. I will be staying home editing Change to my computer.
Good man. Good boy yourself.
Jackson Brueheim, Liz had a few too many on St. Paddy's Day and tipsily subscribed to the Patreon. Ciara Lawler, Judge Leahy, Pete, Larger, Stronger and More Powerful Jones, Johnny Ray, Hunter Harvard, the Texas Ironman. Lisa wants you to just give the lads 5 stars already.
For fuck's sake, lads.
Come on, Lisa says to do it, folks.
And I wouldn't disagree with Lisa. She's always right on everything so far.
Yeah, historically. Justin Bowman, Joe Reid, John Neesmith, the Dr. Dara, Ted Sullivan, Jeff Scroger, Adam O and Charlie Smith. thank you all for your support. I really appreciate it. Heading over to Patreon if you want to support us over there. You get all the movie reviews and TV show reviews we've done over the years, and you get to suggest movies that we'll talk about as well. There is also the merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is at heroesforhirepod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. Blue Sky is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lorraine.
I've been Shaun.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.